Welcome to Lion Talk, where we let you hear from people from Missouri Southern State University. I'm Sean Gordon. The interviews in this program were conducted by students in the professional interviewing class in fall 2018. This program takes a look at various ways students are involved on campus. There are many clubs and departmental organizations on campus. One in the Department of Communication is the Public Relations Student Society of America, also known as PRSSA. Veronica Gazaway found out more about the group in the following interview.
Welcome back to Lion Talk. My name is Veronica Gazaway, and I'm joined here by Dea Davenport. Dea is the president of PRSSA, a student organization here on campus, and we're just going to talk a little bit about that today.
Okay.
Okay, so how long have you been president of PRSSA?
I have been president for almost a year now in December.
Okay, and were you elected to that, or did you just kind of grow into the role?
I was elected president last fall, at the end of last fall.
So what are some of your duties as president?
As president, I kind of oversee the chapter. So we have an executive board with a secretary, editor and historian, vice president. And so I kind of just oversee their duties and jobs and just kind of make sure that we keep in contact with nationals and our parent chapter in Springfield, Missouri.
Okay, so do you want to talk a little bit more about that president chapter and what our role is, or PRSSA's role, excuse me, in that chapter?
With the parent chapter?
Like the relationship.
So we kind of just keep in contact just because they're close and we're in the same region, just to kind of bounce off ideas from. I know they host luncheons with the National PRSA chapter, and that's just professionals who work in the communication field already. They kind of have their national organization, so they work with students for them to gain experience, and so we kind of work with them just to keep in contact with other, students and other professionals, just to bounce off ideas from and just to keep in contact with other members.
So are those professionals that come in all PR professionals, public relation, or do they have other jobs, like a variety of them? They
have a variety of jobs. Some work mostly in PR, some work in the communication field, some work in the health communication field, radio, TV, it varies, so.
Sweet. Well, what is the main purpose of PRSSA on campus here?
So the main purpose for PRSSA on campus is to give students professional experience before they graduate college. So there's a lot of opportunities with being a member or just coming to meetings and joining us with the club. So as a member, you gain leadership experience, you get scholarships, you get awards, you get writing experience for your portfolio. So there's just a wide variety. You get connections with people who already work in the communication field. So there's a lot of benefits to being a member of PRSSA.
Does the chapter on campus relate with other clubs and organizations in, at Missouri Southern?
We have before, and I think that's a vision for the future, is to work closely with other organizations, especially within the communication department. And we have worked with outside resources as well within the community. So.
All right. Well, what do you really get out of PRSSA? What have you gained from it?
Of course, like it says, within their mission, gaining professional experience, but I've also gained lots of friendships and mentorships with people who already work in the profession. So I feel like it's really beneficial. I've had a lot of people help me on the way with my collegiate career, and I feel that can also stick with me through my professional career, as well as bounce ideas off of my friends and students who are in the organization and students who have since graduated. So it's just really beneficial, and I've learned so much from being a part of PRSSA.
Do you think those friendships are more valuable because it's like networking and it's important for your future? Do you think they'll be lifelong?
Oh, yes. All the people in our chapter and people who were in the chapter before who have graduated, I still keep in contact with. So, yeah.
All right. Well, what is something that you would tell people that are looking to join PRSSA?
I would tell them that it is so much fun. You get to travel, of course, meet new friends, gain professional experience. So there's just many benefits to being a part of PRSSA in many different aspects. And it just makes your life so much richer and fun. And you learn so much from being a part of PRSSA.
And you don't have to be a public relations major, too.
No, we've had English majors, math majors, science majors, like anyone can join. So
That sounds like a great thing to be a part of, and I am also very glad that I joined. Thank you so much for being on our show today, and that's all we have time for here on Lion Talk.
We now turn from public relations to broadcasting. At MSSU, we have a group called Southern Broadcasters Club. Members do a variety of activities, including producing a television program called Southern Nights. Our next interview features one of the co-hosts of the program as she explains her role and interest in broadcasting.
Hello and welcome back to Southern Nights. I'm Carola Stahl and joining me today is Dinah West. She is the host of our student-produced late-night talk show called Southern Nights. Hello Dinah, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you
Thank you
doing?
so much for being here.
Oh girl, you know it's no problem.
So how did you decide you want to host a late-night talk show?
So basically, Abby and is it Abby and Maddie,
Maddie,
the
yeah.
two sisters who were over it. Abby is actually, she was my the teacher's aide for my UE class, and she was telling me about like many opportunities in the mass comm, you know, because that's my major mass comm, and she was like, hey, you should come to our Southern Nights. It's like our broadcasters club, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go be in the background, you know, help where I can. And then when we were in the first meeting, they were talking about auditions for hosts, and Abby was like, I think you should do it. And I was like, no. But and then I auditioned and I made it. So I was like, like, okay, this is really fun. I love it.
Yeah. So what is your main part as a host? What do you do?
So basically what I do is, you know, I introduce the show. I like bring the show in, greet it like with my co-host, and then I interview people in like the Joplin community, the Joplin area, and I also interview like clubs, organizations from our school. I play games with the guests, and pretty much just like talk about things that are going on around campus, like, you know, just like a chill, laid back, you know, like me and friends. So.
And how do you prepare for those shows?
Well, I read over the script, of course, and then I always just think, like, what can I do to make the show, you know, entertaining and captivating? Like, what can I do to make people want to, you know, tune in more? So I just kind of, like, read over the script, see how I can add in, see if there's any interesting questions I can ask and stuff like that.
How did you feel before the first taping? So was you nervous or?
Yes. I was. Actually, the first show, the entire show, I was completely nervous, like scared out of my mind. Like, I was nervous. I was shaking the whole time. My hands were sweating. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to have somebody else do it. I don't think I can. So, yeah, I was really nervous.
But you did a great job.
Oh,
I saw
thank
that.
you.
Yeah. And what is your favorite part about the show?
I would say my favorite part about the show is getting to interview people, because I'm a big people person. So I love to like interview the people and ask them about like the many, you know, opportunities, clubs, organizations, things there's to do in Joplin, because like I knew nothing about Joplin before I came here. So it's cool to find out like how much like people actually do and how much people in the town like really interact with it, and also like the different clubs in the school, because, you know, it's a small school, but it's also like a big school when it comes to opportunity. So I kind of get like that insider on the opportunity when I do the interviews.
Was there anything special happen in the show? So anything you remember from the latest shows?
Oh yeah, so from the latest show, we actually get to interview with the authors. Oh no, not with the authors, with the officers, sorry guys. With the officers, we got to interview with them, and they also taught us some self-defense moves, so that was really fun.
Okay, so are there any challenges?
I would say the biggest challenge is just making sure that, you know, I have the correct posture, I'm reading like the teleprompt right, I'm not, you know, going too fast or too slow, you know, I'm clear on, you know, what I'm trying to tell the people or what I'm trying to ask the interviewees. So like that's the hardest part, I would have to say, like just remembering like go slow, it's okay,
Yeah.
you know. So, yeah.
And is being a host something you want to do after you graduate? Or is it just something you want to do for fun?
I think it's just something I want to do for fun. I definitely want to be more of a news reporter, a meteorologist, traffic news reporter, and more on that side. But I mean, if a host was to come, I wouldn't mind doing it. So I would really enjoy it.
Okay, so you are a sophomore, right?
No, I'm a freshman actually.
A freshman?
I'm a freshman, yeah.
Wow, okay. Are there any classes you have that prepare you for being a host or?
No.
No?
I think I'm just naturally a people person, so I think
Yeah.
that's just kind of how I just adapted. I like to ad-lib, people person, so that's kind of what came natural to me.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
No problem.
And thank you for tuning in. That's all we have for today. And we'll see you next time at Line Talk.
Thank you, Carola. As member of Southern Broadcasters, I know that it takes a lot of teamwork to produce a TV show. Stay tuned to Lion Talk. We'll be back with more interviews featuring student involvement after this break.
Missouri Southern State University's Institute of International Studies presents the 2018 Nordic Theme Semester. Come experience different cultural aspects from Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. Events include lectures from guest speakers and Missouri Southern professors, themed art exhibits, international films, and even a book club. The theme semester will run from September 6th to December 3rd. Most events are free and open to the public. For more information, please visit mssu.edu and come join us in our pursuit of everything Nordic for our 2018 theme semester at MSSU.
Welcome back to Lion Talk. We're continuing our program looking at student involvement on campus. Our next segment takes a look at Greek life and students in campus sororities. We begin with an interview featuring Alpha Sigma Alpha.
Thank you for joining us on Lion Talk. I am Dusty Neighbors. I'm a mass communications major here at Southern. This is Lara Gross. She's a member of Alpha Sigma Alpha, so I'm going to ask her a couple of questions about Alpha Sigma Alpha today. Lara, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Did you have any troubles getting here?
No.
No, that's good. So, since you're a member of Alpha Sigma Alpha, what made you decide to join?
So I decided to join a sorority in general because I'm very social and I wanted to have a lot of friends in college, and especially coming 4.5 hours away from home, I really didn't have any friends. So I thought, well, a sorority, you get automatic friends, so might as well. So
Yeah. Has there anything else that you've gained from becoming a member?
philanthropy and helping people is something that I personally like to do. I try to do that at home as well. So that was just a bonus onto getting friends and also being able to help people at the same time.
Cool. Is there any issues keeping up with GPA or anything in a sorority?
No. In a sorority, they make sure that you do your homework, and because our sorority, we do study buddies every other Thursday, so we all study together, so everyone's there to help you with your homework. And we all hold each other accountable and make sure that we're doing our homework and keeping our GPA up.
Yeah. What has been your favorite part of the whole experience so far?
When we went to the ICU to face paint for little kids that had been in the ICU in the past, and so it was nice to see little kids be able to reunite with their nurses that had helped them when they came out, when they were born and they were only a pound, and so now they're 3 and 4 years old, and it was great. I really enjoyed that.
That's awesome. Does Alpha Sigma Alpha have any certain philanthropies that they do with certain organizations?
So we have Special Olympics, that one's one of my favorite ones. I really enjoy that. Girls on the Run, which we haven't really done anything with Girls on the Run yet. That's coming up soon. And then we have Lafayette House, which is with people that have been domestically abused. When we went and helped tie purple ribbons around town for them, and that's the ones that I can remember. There's more. I was but those are the top 3 that I can remember.
That's awesome. Is it hard to make friends outside of a Greek organization?
Yes and no, because we're with Greek life all the time, and so it's just a lot easier to be friends with the frats and the sororities because, we're all together. Yeah. And with having other friends, it's a lot harder because it's, oh, I have to go to the sorority thing. Well, they want to hang out, but I can't because I have other prior commitments. And so it is harder, but it can happen.
Yeah. But you have lots of friends in the other Greek organizations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you think that your parents think anything of you being at a sorority, or do they think it's really cool?
When I first got in and I went home for the first time, my mom had like decorated my room with balloons, and she had the Alpha Sigma Alpha sayings like all over my room and ladybugs, and so they're really excited. And I have cousins that are in sororities, and so they're excited too. So yeah, I think they like that I'm in it.
Yeah.
At least I hope so.
Did you ever have any doubts joining a sorority?
Yes, I think everyone has doubts when they have to go out of their comfort zone for something, because I was all in for it, but then I also was kind of like, ooh, what if they don't like me? What if I don't find anyone that I really like, and then I'm stuck? And it's like, but I was a little bit nervous, but then once I finally met everyone, then it was like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm okay. This is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Do you have any like favorite people that you've met in Alpha Sigma Alpha, anyway, that's influenced your life so far?
Well, so in a sorority you get a big sister, that's someone that like really is there for you to make sure that like your grades, make sure you're doing, and make sure like you're doing okay with the transition and being in college. So her name's Mel. She's really helped me a lot with like being away from home, because being away from home is really difficult sometimes. And then Michaela, Lily, that's another one. We hang out all the time. Even though she's not my big, we're still sisters, so we still hang out. Yeah, those are two that have really influenced me a lot.
It's really awesome. It sounds like you've had a great experience in Alpha Sigma Alpha so far. Thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
And thank you for joining us with Lion Talk. It's been such an honor to be interviewing Lara Gross. Thank you.
Thank you, Dusty. MSSU has 2 sororities on campus. Our next interview features a member of Zeta Tau Alpha, visiting with Kaylee Ferguson.
Welcome back to Lion Talk. My name is Kaylee Ferguson, and today I am joined with Kylie Marchison, a member of Zeta Tau Alpha and also a public relations major at MSSU. Thank you so much for joining me today, Kylie.
Of course.
So today I just wanted to talk about some of the benefits that you receive from being on an on-campus organization.
Yeah, so being a part of Zeta Alpha has really grown my leadership skills and also how I can connect and reconnect with other people on campus. It's really great to be able to see what we do on campus, but also what we do in the community through our philanthropy, which is breast cancer awareness and education.
That's amazing. So what kind of events do you host for your philanthropy?
So this last weekend we actually had the Pink Out game where we handed out pink out ribbons to everyone who walked in if they wanted one. And we also handed out free cookies. We had a raffle, and it was just a lot of fun to hang out with my sisters.
That's amazing. Do you do a lot of fundraising, or what kind of other events do you host besides just maybe some philanthropy events?
So a couple weeks before, we had a kickball tournament, and we raised, I want to believe, over $2,000 for our foundation. And then years before, we've done an event called Big Man on Campus, which is kind of like a drag queen, but not as good as those women. And it's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. So what other things do you guys do besides philanthropy events?
Okay, so we do a lot of sisterhood events where it's just like our chapter hanging out. Like we did a Halloween themed where whoever came best dressed won a prize, and did like bobbing for apples, and we painted pumpkins. And then years before that, we've done pajama parties with like ice cream. We also do mixers with other organizations on campus. We have a mixer coming up with Kappa Alpha Order, and we're doing a Christmas themed one. And sometimes we even do like Thanksgiving parties just for our chapter, where it's like Friendsgiving, and we do a lot of parties.
How fun. What are some of the benefits of just being in that organization of women?
Honestly, being a part of Zeta Tau Alpha has really made me grow as a person and has really built my self-esteem. I've never been a person who could hold a position or go out and just talk to anybody, and now I really feel like I could do that without being like embarrassed if they're like, ew, who are you?
And what would you say to a woman who wants to be a part of this organization or organization like it?
I think it's really great to go through recruitment, and I think it's really great to join any Greek affiliated organization, because it really does help with your leadership skills. It really does help with future things after college, and you make friends for a lifetime.
How amazing. So you are also a student here at Missouri Southern?
I am.
And you're a public relations major, correct?
Yes, I am.
So how are the classes going for that? What kind of things do you do just class-wise?
Okay. So I really like my classes. That's actually why I changed majors. I did Intro to Human Communications just to see it out, and I loved it. I love being able to like go out and do things, but also have discussions in class. And I love everyone I have classes with, and my professors are so personal, and I can always come to them with any problem.
Now, has being in Zeta Tau Alpha helped you with being in your classes?
It has. If I ever have a problem and I need like help with like math, because I always need help with math, I can always find someone who can help me, and our academic chair, Kathleen, does amazing with that.
Oh, that's amazing. Are there different positions in Zeta Tau Alpha that girls can hold?
Yeah, there is. So we have an executive council, and that means president. We have vice president 1, which is Kaylee Ferguson. And then we have a vice president 2, and we have a vice president 3, and I'm vice president 3, which means I run our recruitment, and I'm just in charge of making sure everyone's happy in the chapter with like membership-wise. And then we also have other things like cool like apparel chairman where they get to design all the shirts we make. And then we also have like who's in charge of sisterhood, in charge of our philanthropy, and just tons of positions.
That's amazing. And how is the alumni outreach between this? Because I know that a lot of Zeta Tau Alpha chapters have a really big alumni, or even Greek chapters for that matter.
Yeah, we're actually, this Thursday, we're having a Founders Day where we invite our alumni chapter to hang out with us, just to talk about our founders and review everything that we've done this year. And we're also doing a senior send-off, and it's really great because we all get to sit and eat together and hang out. And I actually love my alumni like advisors and everything. I talk to them on a daily basis, and they're really great.
Well, that's amazing. Well, Kylie, thank you so much for joining me here today and letting me know a little bit more about your organization, how it affects you. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Lion Talk.
We now turn our attention to sports, more specifically, Lions football. Earlier this fall, the team broke a long losing streak with a win over Northeastern State. The next 2 interviews feature players reacting to that win and sharing their experiences.
Hello, Missouri Southern, and welcome to Lion Talk. My name is Shane Gosson, and I'm here with MSSU football player Trevor Flores to discuss this season. So, Trevor, what position do you play?
I play wide receiver.
Okay, and what is your class?
I'm currently on the field.
Yes, class or field, doesn't matter.
I am on the field. I'm a redshirt sophomore right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. That's a long way from Joplin, Missouri. How are you doing that?
Man, it's kind of hard, being real far from home, but it's not too bad. Got some good friends up here, and I'm just trying to make the most of my college experience, being an athlete and stuff.
Do you have fellow Texas players on the team as well?
Yeah, I have a few Texas players on the team with me. Both my roommates actually are from Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's good to have a good Texas connection up here.
Now, I recently heard that you had a season-ending injury. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I suffered a season-ending injury against Central Missouri a few weeks ago. Messed up my shoulder real bad. Collarbone injury, basically. I tore my ligaments under there, AC joint, messed up. So, it's been hard trying to cope with that. And, the main thing I've been trying to do is just stay positive for my teammates and, just try to keep motivating the team and doing everything I can to help out.
Now, I know it's tough not being able to play last week, but I know there was a happy side about it because we recently just ended our 20-game losing streak by defeating NSU. Can you tell me a little bit about that victory?
Victory was great, man. The team needed it, the school needed it, the city needed it. So, regardless if I played or not, I feel like my level of excitement and happiness would have been the same. It was just great to finally see everybody be able to smile after the game. We're in the locker room cheering and stuff, and to know that our hard work was finally able to be put off and executed to the right way, that was a great feeling.
Now, with being a redshirt sophomore, I'm assuming you've experienced the past 20 games. Can you tell me a little bit about how those 20 games went about and just being able to get that monkey off your back?
Man, those past 20 games were rough, man. Especially last season, not winning the game at all.
Right.
It was real tough, but like I said, you got to go through some hard times to climb the steps and climb the ladder and get to a new point. So you know, it's just, I'm glad we were able to go through it, but, you know, it's all good.
So what does that do for a locker room as getting that monkey off your back and being able to get that win? You know, what does it do for the morale of the team?
I think it gives us a little bit of confidence, you know, gives us that swagger, you know, knowing that we're able to actually win the game, you know. I feel like a lot of guys, you know, they come in every week, coming in every practice, just, you know, not really saying and knowing and, you know, saying that we're going to lose, but they kind of just had that feeling in the back of their head, like, I really don't think we're going to win. So, you know, I feel like us winning that game, it boosted everybody's confidence, the morale. You know, the team just got closer after that one win. So it's been very great for us.
So what is the aspirations going forward for the rest of the season?
I want us to win out. You know, I hope that's what everybody feels like. I'm pretty sure that's what everybody feels like. I know it's what the coaches feel like. So, you know, I just want us to win out and keep getting better and carry that same energy on to the off season and going into the next season.
Okay. As you prepare for the off season, if you could describe in one word this past season, what would you say?
I could say it was challenging. Just one word, challenging. You know?
Why would you say it would be challenging?
I could say it's challenging personally, you know, dealing with my injury, and then at the same time, just, you know, we lost our head coach, and that was like after the third game. So, you know, that's not really anything you want to go through as a college athlete, you know, being on a team, but it's all good.
Sounds great. Well, that's all that time I have for you today. This is Shane Gosson, reporting from Lion Talk. Have a nice day.
As you can see, there are many stories to be shared by people at Missouri Southern. I invite you to join us for the next episode of Lion Talk. I'm Sean Gordon. Thank you for tuning in.